Before the Pirate King, before the Great Pirate Era, before the word Yonko ever meant anything, there was Rox D. Xebec, a name that, even now, decades later, trembles off the tongues of the world's most powerful. He wasn't just a pirate, he was a force of nature, a conqueror. And in chapter 1155, we finally see that the myths surrounding Rox weren't exaggerations. For decades, Rox lived in the shadows of One Piece history, a name spoken cautiously by Sengoku, acknowledged only in private. This was the man who led the most terrifying pirate crew of all time. Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, Shiki, Captain John, Achoku, and more. They didn't follow him out of loyalty. They followed him because he earned them, one by one, in Davy Back fights. The Davy Back fight, first introduced during the Long Ring Long Land arc as a bizarre pirate game, is no joke in the hands of a monster like Rox. He challenged other notorious pirates and forcibly added them to his ranks under pirate law. That's why his ship was a battlefield. The Rox pirates weren't a family. That internal instability would later lead to betrayal, or at least chaos at God Valley. Chapter 1155 doesn't just tell us this, it shows us. For the first time in the manga, we see Rox D. Xebec fighting, sword drawn, haki blazing, and his opponent? King Harold of Elbaf, the monarch of the most powerful warrior nation in the world. Elbaf's steel against the edge of a conqueror's blade. That moment alone would have been enough to elevate him beyond myth. But then comes the reveal. Rox infiltrates Pangea Castle, the most heavily guarded location on the planet, and walks straight into the Flower Room, the private chamber of Imu, the hidden sovereign of the world. No pirate in the story, not Roger, not Whitebeard, has ever set foot in that room. And then he speaks, "I'll be back." In that moment, we learn something that's been buried beneath layers of history. Rox wasn't trying to destroy the world for chaos. He wasn't like the Revolutionary Army, seeking to free the oppressed. He wasn't like Luffy, seeking freedom. He wasn't even like Roger, chasing a dream. Rox wanted the throne, the world's throne. And if he reached the Flower Room, that means he understood something that no one else in the entire series has truly grasped until now. That the Celestial Dragons are just puppets. That the Five Elders are just guardians. The real power is Imu, and Rox got to him, face to face, alone. Which begs the question, why didn't he die here? Fast forward to God Valley, it was where Imu's most valuable pawns and secrets were gathered. And it's the island the world government erased from every map. Not because of shame, but because of fear. They couldn't afford the truth to leak, that Rox got closer to toppling their world than anyone else in history. And that's why they needed Roger. Yes, the Pirate King Gold D. Roger, the man who would later discover the One Piece. Even he couldn't face Rox alone. So we teamed up with his natural enemy, Marine hero Monkey D. Garp. But here's what we're never told. What happened to Rox's body? After all that buildup, there's no corpse, no grave, no execution. The official record simply says he vanished. Not he died, not he was killed, he vanished. Now tie that to the next major reveal in chapter 1155. It's confirmed that Marshall D. Teach, Blackbeard, is the son of Rox D. Xebec. It all adds up now. Teach's unnatural body, his ability to wield 2 devil fruits, his refusal to sleep, his obsession with domination, territory, and collecting power. Even his ship, the Saber of Xebec, was never a tribute. It was a claim, a declaration of bloodline. And that's where the legacy becomes dangerous. Because if Rox failed to take the throne, Teach intends to finish what he started. But where Rox used force, Teach uses opportunity. He manipulates, deceives, and waits. And like his father, he's not chasing freedom, he's chasing the throne. So here's the truth. Rox D. Xebec didn't just challenge the world government, he nearly destroyed it. He wasn't stopped by Marines alone. It took Roger, it took Garp, it took betrayal, secrecy, and the complete erasure of a location to bring him down. And even now, decades later, his influence is everywhere. He shaped the Yonko system because the world needed to prevent another Rox. He created Teach, the successor of his ambition. And now, in the final saga, with Imu revealed, with the Great Cleansing looming, and with Luffy and Blackbeard positioned for their final clash, Rox's legacy is more alive than ever. Because if Teach wins, the world becomes what Rox envisioned. So when we talk about the greatest figures in One Piece, Roger, Whitebeard, Garp, Luffy, we must remember this. Every one of them was shaped by the storm that was Rox D. Xebec. He wasn't a product of his time. He defined his time. He was the conqueror above conquerors.